Today, I'd like to give a trigger warning as today's topic talks about sex, sexual trauma, and past abuses with potential long-lasting effects to an individual. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Chat with Elsie. I hope you've had a great weekend, week, whichever it may be by the time you're listening to this. In case anyone was wondering, my pickles did turn out great and they were a success in the house. And it may be something I want to do again. Stay tuned, but it was low-key stressful to me. Again, I'm going to apologize if you hear any traffic outside. The time that I'm starting to record this, I'm assuming people are starting to head back home from work. Let's see, what else is new with me? I have been crazy sick again. So if you hear me trying to clear my throat, little sniffles, I apologize ahead of time, but I can't control that. And I feel like if I put off any longer of doing another recording, I might miss my opportunity to keep doing this. Not to say that I had to follow a certain time frame to doing this, but I feel like if I didn't stick with wanting to do something frequent enough, I might fall out of the habit of doing it, and I don't want that to happen. So here I am. I actually got my little health drink mix, of which is just like mango kombucha, some crushed up ice mixed with a vitamin C emergency pack, and then a little bit of that like slim mango tropical sunripe juice. And oh my goodness, you guys, fuck, this stuff is good. Like, it's pretty much just a health drink that I created. Tastes amazing. It's all I've been drinking. My skin is so good right now. Oh my god, the amount of water I've had to drink. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I seem to get a cold once or twice a month, every month right now. It's been happening for the past year. Let me tell you, I'm tired of it. Nope, I don't want this anymore. So that's about it. So how about we just jump right into this? Yeah? Yeah. So recently I saw this lame post on Instagram. You know those ones that have like a catchy or problematic title to warrant engagement? I know you know the type I'm talking about. This one had said, "Do men have a right to divorce their wives for lack of sex?" Oh my God. I was like absolutely floored that not only are we still pinning women as sex objects and or there for the purpose of sex only, but that it was being normalized that sex is what makes a relationship. Like, yes, it's important to a degree, but sex doesn't always equal intimacy or a good relationship. And we can get into that later. I had seen so many comments of women, and of course, we're going to be inclusive here, people with vulvas that experience pain with sex and have experienced relationships ending due to this. And worse was the people who were demonizing them for it and saying that now that they can't contribute to relationships due to this, that they're just done for. I'm sad to say I've been there. I myself was in a long-term relationship. I would say maybe about a year and a half or 2 years into the relationship, I started experiencing pain with sex. Now, it was mainly only penetration, and of course, we're all still learning that penetration isn't the only form of sex, but of course, we're all still learning. And that's all we can really ask of ourselves right now, isn't it? That we just continue learning and doing more for ourselves and doing better for ourselves and growing. And I'm going to stop that little tangent right there. I was so unaware at what was happening and why I was crying, why I was bleeding a bit. Because, yeah, I want this. I want to experience this with my boyfriend, but my body wasn't allowing it. Talked to a few doctors, and at this time, I was perhaps like 20, 21 years old. And this is what shocked me. I had a female gynecologist suggest early menopause. Guys, when I say, what the literal fuck did you just say? Like, I beg your finest pardon. Miss Thing, what did you just say? Like, no. She suggested that perhaps it was early onset menopause, which allegedly can cause pain nerves to grow in replace of pleasure nerves. Now, I tried to fact check this, but I couldn't find anything that actually correlated that exact sentence that she had said. But I did find the following. Menopause is often accompanied by vaginal discomfort, including burning, itching, dryness, and spontaneous or provoked pain in the vulva area. So yeah, like, I guess I could see that, but like, girl, Miss Thing, I was about 21 years old. This did not sound right to me. So I ended up going years thinking I was broken, that my body betrayed me, and that I wasn't aware what was happening. Actually happens to a large amount of people. And of course, since sex is so taboo, especially if you're a woman, and you're slut-shamed for even existing, which, come on, grow up, people, grow the fuck up. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this and how common it is. Being a woman is difficult as it is without being slut-shamed or sexualized for just existing, let alone not being able to perform in a typical standard, made me feel like men would essentially be like, well, fuck it, you're done now, huh? As if it's all I had to offer in the first place. This condition is not normally talked about, due to the shame it can bring to an individual, and with that, people think that it's going to be their new norm. But let me tell you, not only is it common, but there is a way to work with it and work around it. If anything, for some individuals, not all, there could be a cure for it, but I don't want to quote for everybody because it's this could be based off of each individual. I was finally informed of this diagnosis, vaginismus, which can go hand in hand as a symptom/subset of vulvodynia, which is classified as the following: a type of long-term pain or discomfort around the outer part of the female genitals, called the vulva. It lasts at least 3 months and has no clear cause. Now, what makes vaginismus is the following. Vaginismus is when the muscles of a woman's vagina, individual's vagina, squeeze or spasm when something is entering it, including, but not limited to, penetration, tampons, and fingers. It can range from being mildly uncomfortable to quite painful. So I'm also going to add in some more information for those who may be interested, but perhaps not quite ready to research on their own. Painful sex is often the first sign of vaginismus. The pain happens only with penetration. It usually goes away after withdrawal, but not always. Some individuals describe it as burning or a feeling like a penetrative item is hitting a wall. Many individuals who have vaginismus also feel discomfort when inserting a tampon or having a pelvic exam at their doctor's office. Other symptoms of vaginismus include not being able to have penetrative sex or insert a tampon at all, fear of pain or sex, loss of sexual desire. These symptoms are often involuntary, meaning a woman/individual can't control them without treatment. Doctors don't know exactly why vaginismus happens. It's usually linked to anxiety or fear of having sex, but it's not always clear which came first, the vaginismus or the anxiety. Other known causes are sexual assault, trauma, emotional trauma, pregnancy, miscarriage, and emotional abuse from a partner. Now, I want to point out that this can be different for every individual. Not everyone's experiences will be the same reasoning, the same cause, or the same feelings. If you or someone you know is suffering from this, please know you and that individual are not alone. Because not only is this a topic that is not taken seriously due to the stigma that women's health already has, let alone women's sexual health, it's still viewed as taboo or viewed as something that we should not talk about. Now, when I say not taken seriously, I don't mean to phrase that in a way to demean the topic, but as a personal experience, how not only I, but many other people have been told the following. Have you tried drinking alcohol first? Have you tried smoking weed? Taking edibles? Not only does that come across as unprofessional, but it gives the idea that I needed to be under the influence of a product in order to experience a pleasurable time with someone. Other phrases I had heard from professionals: are you not turned on? Are you not attracted to your partner? And these are classic replies, and unfortunately, typical replies. If you or someone you know has been told this, please know it's not you. It's them being uninformed. I want you to know that there is help for it, and it seems to be a secret, but I won't gatekeep that for you or anyone else. Pelvic floor therapy, as well as therapy. If you or someone you know may be experiencing this, it could be due to pelvic floor dysfunction or past trauma, abuse, or fear of intimacy or sex. The body does work in weird ways. It can get a mind of its own. and correlate something that it remembers as painful to only ever being painful and fearful. In pelvic floor therapy, this can help target whether it stems from an emotional blockage, past trauma experience, or a muscle dysfunction. In my case, I'm truly saddened to say that it was due to all three, but I wanted to be clear that there is help for it. But it does take time, and it takes the right partner to understand and make you feel safe and heard during your intimate physical relationship. Because let's not forget that intimacy does not have to correlate with only physicality. That seems to be another thing that people lack, from my experience and from what I've seen on social media, that the only thing that can make a relationship successful is sex. But what about romance, communication, foreplay, date nights? Because being emotionally mature enough for your partner and vice versa, where is the intimacy of staying up late, talking about your feelings and your experiences, hopes and dreams, what you want from each other, what you want from yourself? That all counts as intimacy. When my long-term relationship ended due to me having vaginismus and our own issues, it truly broke a part of me that I didn't know I could have break. It felt like this person I invested so much time, love, and energy to no longer viewed me as worthy to put that effort into. In a way, it did give me trauma I didn't know existed. And if anyone knows me, I don't like to throw the word trauma around lightly. It made me think, if I can't do this one action, why would anyone want me? Wrong. So wrong. Girls, guys, people, individuals, there is so much more to your physical intimacy life than just penetration, and you need to find the person who's willing to listen and understand what you're experiencing and work with it, not against it. Okay? Okay? Not against it, but with it. Now, I'm not going to say that my ex-partner didn't do his research, because he did, and we did deal with it for 6 years. But ultimately, it was a big roadblock, as not only did this cause a sexual insecurity in me, but it caused me to not want to be seen in a sexual aspect anymore. And that took me a while to understand, because I started being very avoidant when it came to being touched. Not because I didn't want them touching me, but because it made me feel like everything had to lead to sex. And if I felt like I couldn't perform, I felt like a failure, and I just didn't want to be viewed in such a way. To me, before I registered how I was processing things, sex was failing for me. Sex made me a failure. My body made me a failure, and I couldn't do this with someone that I was so in love with. And that does something to you. And I feel like that's another aspect that vaginismus brings. Emotional letdowns or fear of what you can or can't do. And God, that was a fucking awful time, man. But once I found the right fit for a professional, I was able to work my body and learn to love it and how it wants to work. I was able to find myself having pain-free sex with people along the way, people I dated, people I wanted to experience. Plus, in this, learning that I'm a demisexual, that's an individual who needs an emotional basis first prior to sleeping with someone. And this can look different for many people, whether it be they don't experience sexual attraction without an emotional connection, or their body not being interested in sex without an emotional connection being based first. Like, oh my God, there was this one night. Good Lord, it was hot, you guys. I was with someone that I didn't expect to sleep with at all. We were just watching a movie and things led to another, and I'm like, okay, wait. Okay, stop. Like, and he just looks at me and I tell him, I need you to know I have this condition. He's just staring at me. And God, he was probably worried it's something catchable, and I really hope not. But I tell him, my body needs time getting there. I need you to go slow and listen to what I say. It may hurt, and if it does, just please listen. Like, I need you to work with me with this. When I tell you this man made me feel so seen and heard, not only did he respect every single thing, as someone fucking should, by the way, he said, we'll do this together. Tell me what to do. Lord, That night was bestowed upon me as a gift, and that's all I want to say. Now, this experience, and I don't want to take away from any individual who experiences this, but please know, you do not need to view yourself as broken or wronged, because you're not, and you do not deserve to be made felt as such, but respected and heard. There are so many other ways one can be physically intimate with a partner. Let's just not act like dick is the only thing that can make it happen for us. So if you were to ask me, has vaginismus ruined my life? Or did it make it better? Let's see, shall we? I did go through a very traumatic breakup, albeit involved improper skills and two very angry, stubborn people, but it forced me to want to heal and research it myself. After the breakup, I became a completely new person and found more worth in myself than I ever had back then. I started traveling, got a new job, started dating. And let me tell you, I started this relationship at an early age and it ended in my mid-20s. I have never experienced dating. So that is going to be other episodes in the future. My dating experience as a woman in social media age. So there's that. And if anything, it helps me be more selective with potential dates. Like, hello, if you can't be understanding of that, you are so not it, and we will not match. Next. So did it ruin my life? On my own standardized experience, in one way, yes. But in another, the way I view it, not so much. It ruined a part of my life, but not the life I have now. I have had so many new life experiences because of it, and it's taught me to be more mindful in who gets access into my life. So, listeners, if you feel like it's hopeless and that you can't ever have quote-unquote typical sex, I do say that in quotes, just know there's so many other options out there, and that the right individual would never base that as your only being. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, everybody. Potentially next episode, I think we're going to talk about what it's like to date in 2024. As a woman slowly hitting 30 with social media age after the pandemic. So fun, am I right? No. Okay, guys. I hope you have a great evening, day, afternoon, whichever it may be for you, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.